Today we're going to look at a 5-minute opening range breakdown on Nvda. This is a pretty good trade for beginner traders. It's easy to see the setup and it's easy to know where to put your stop and where to get in and get out. So if we look at this is Nvda, and what I'm looking at here is the 5-minute opening range. So I have the high of the 5 minutes and the low of the first 5 minutes. And in this case, I'm actually looking for it to break down below the low of the first 5 minutes. You'll see it went up and then it came back down, and now we have this very bearish candle on the 5-minute chart. The other thing I'm looking at here is on the level 2. I see a big order down at 191 and another really big order down at 190. Now there are these big orders up to the top side as well, but what I'm looking at here is there's actually a pretty big gap here where there's not very many orders to the top side, and immediately below the current price there's actually a lot of orders to the downside. So this book is actually looking pretty bearish. So to me it looks like it's going to go down. The other thing I like about this is this black line or black dash line. That is the previous day high. And so the price has sold from there before. And in this case, what happened is it went up and it broke above it, but then it immediately rejected and went back down. So it looks like this is an area where they're selling. So most likely the price is going to retrace from here before it can go back up and test that price again. So that's why I kind of like this for this breakdown. So let's take a look at how it goes. So again, the price is, he's still here just above the 5 minutes, and now it breaks and I get in. I may have gotten in a little soon there. Usually you want to wait for it to break and hold below the 5 minutes, but it had been moving down pretty aggressively, so I didn't want to miss the move. My stop loss is going to be just up around the VWAP. So my stop is there. Now the price finally didn't break down, and so now I'm looking for it to get down to 191, and that's probably where I'm going to take my first partial. That's not quite 2R. The risk to reward on this is a little skewed because it's a bit far away from the VWAP, and that's usually where I like to put my stop. Another logical place for the stop could have been just above the pre-market high, which is that pink dashed line. That was also acting as support and resistance before. But I think the VWAP was a good stop in this particular trade. So we took our first partial at 191. I take another one here at 190.50. So that's just, I like to take them at, those even numbers, 191, 190.50, and I'll take another one if it breaks down to 190, which it looks like it's going to. The order book's still looking pretty bearish. And here it goes. It is moving down. So there we go. I got my SIL at 190. So I think it's been a pretty good trade already. I have a $1.75 move. I took 3 partials. Right now I'm actually pretty much out of this trade. I am holding on to a few shares to see if we can get down towards that 189 level. That's for the next big level on the level 2 is. But again, I'm mostly out now. If you could get a $2 move on a trade, that's usually more than enough to make a good amount of profit. So that is the 5-minute opening range breakout. Again, it's a very easy trade for beginner trades. This is one you should add to your trade book. I hope you learned something. Make sure to subscribe so you get all my trade recaps.